Make some noise.
Backhanded by Vaughn. Runs to the bag, and Mizorowski gets out of it in the 6th.
It's the Brewers hosting the Nationals.
American Family Field on their feet and in approval.
Our Brewers game day coverage starts today at 12 with Brewers warm-up on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 68 degrees today. Cloudy skies with a high of 82. Tonight, a few clouds with a low of 68. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Nazir Spencer. More than 160 people are still missing after last week's deadly flood in Texas. The Hammond family was swept off a bridge. Everyone survived, but 8-year-old Malaya, her body was found days later a mile downstream. Her mother, Elizabeth Hammond.
Just knowing that we found her body and knowing 100% that she is now with God has brought us so much closure.
Officials say search efforts could continue for weeks as crews come through debris and flood zones. The final call for Officer Kendall Corder.
It is with great sorrow that we mourn the passing of Squad 2253, Officer Kendall Corder, who served the Milwaukee Police Department and the citizens of Milwaukee. Officer Kendall Corder, badge number 3509 of the Milwaukee Police Department, end of watch, June 29th, 2025. May you rest in peace. We have the watch from here.
Officer Kendall Corder was killed in the line of duty in an ambush in June. Corder was laid to rest at Wisconsin Memorial Park in a private ceremony. Community members pay their respects to Officer Corder.
Dozens of residents gathered just outside Elmbrook Church to say their goodbyes to the fallen Milwaukee police officer. Joe Ostrowski tells WTMJ.
The guys have very difficult jobs, and it's sad because you go to work and you want to go home every night, and unfortunately this hero didn't get that chance.
Corder is the 6th officer to be killed in the line of duty since 2018. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
An assault involving a former MPS employee.
26-year-old Stephen Quantrell Jr. is a former safety assistant who is accused of sexually assaulting an 18-year-old student. He is charged with sexual assault of a student by school staff. Milwaukee Public Schools say Quantrell left his job at MPS in November of 2023. He was arrested last Thursday. It is unknown when he will appear in court. Elizabeth Linton and WTMJ News.
It's a celebration that dates back 2,000 years and has become one of the fastest paddle sports in the world.
The 13th annual Dragon Boat Festival brought thousands of people to Lakeshore State Park on Saturday in Milwaukee. Chief Director of the festival, J.W. Yang, says the sport began in China 2,000 years ago to honor a hero and poet who drowned.
His name is Qu Yuan, and he's a patriot. And the Dragon Boat actually started was as a symbolic way to save him.
Today, the event in Milwaukee generates proceeds to the Milwaukee Chinese Community Center and local charities.
Half of our proceeds are donated to United Way, right? So it's giving back to the community.
Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:03.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
After writing 3 unsuccessful offers, Brenda decided to make a no-regrets offer on this next property. She offered $35,000 over asking and promised to complete the purchase even if the appraised value came in as much as $25,000 below the accepted offer price. Why? Because she was tired of losing, and because her Accunet loan consultant showed her that even in her worst-case scenario, no additional money would be needed at closing, and her payment, which on this home was much more affordable than others she wrote offers on, would only increase by $17 a month. Brenda's no-regrets offer, backed up by a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet, was accepted over several others. And wouldn't you know, the appraised value came in at the significantly higher than asking purchase price, which happens 9 out of 10 times in our experience. If you or someone you know wants help understanding what a no-regrets pre-approval might look like, get started by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
A well-placed mirror can be a decorator's best friend. And what I like best about adding a decorative mirror to a room is its ability to give it a bright, open feeling. It makes the most of a room's natural light, and that can give a real boost to your room's decor. So here are a few decorative mirror ideas that we can help you with. Say you have windows with a pretty view. Well, why not double your pleasure? Placing a large frame mirror directly across from a window that gets good light will give you great views from either side. Give your small apartment more space than meets the eye with a full wall mirror placed into a partially recessed wall. All you have to do is slide a chest or banquet in front of it, and the effect is subtle but very glamorous. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers win against the Washington Nationals once again on Saturday, stretching their win streak to 8. They have a chance to take the lead in the division with their final matchup against the Nationals this afternoon at 1:10 p.m. Brewers warm-up begins at 12:05 right here on WTMJ. Taking a look at the roads with the WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across this system this Sunday morning. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, cloudy skies with a high of 82. Winds are light, and tonight, a few clouds with a low of 68. Tomorrow, sunny and a high of 85 with a low of 70. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high of 87 and a low of 73. Wednesday, scattered thunderstorms with a high of 87 with a low of 72. Thursday, also scattered thunderstorms right now in Madison at 66, Green Bay 66, and Waukesha 68, in Milwaukee 69 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
And a very good Sunday morning to you. Nazir, I want you to stay here for just a minute because I think a lot of people are still very emotional over the events of Friday and the very moving ceremony involving saying goodbye to Officer Kendall Corner. And I just want to acknowledge everybody here at WTMJ because Eric, Vince, Greg, Jessica, John, Julia, in the newsroom, you, Neil, Sean, Tiff, Mike Spalding, you just did an amazing job presenting that to people who weren't able to get near a TV. I mean, because it really is a service here on radio. You have a lot of people who are working or in their cars going from place to place. I was one of them during the actual end of that ceremony and the procession, and I was listening. And you all did such an amazing job bringing that to everyone out there. And I want to thank you, for doing that.
Of course, yeah. It was I was there that morning before the precision as they brought it to Elmbrook Church. I was at Elmbrook Church, and at first the environment was okay. Officers were arriving throughout the morning and sharing hugs and talking throughout the morning. But as the day went on, and eventually they got there, the police started to get there with the casket and everything. It started to get a little heavy, I could tell.
Yeah, when you hear the bagpipes.
Right, exactly.
That's. My brother had been a deputy sheriff in Cook County in Illinois, and he passed away about 6 years ago. And he didn't die from the line of duty, but when you're at a ceremony like that and you hear the bagpipes, that is one of the most. That and hearing taps are two of the most moving. Yeah. Parts of saying goodbye to someone in law enforcement. So, yeah, I don't think if you're just a listener and you take these things for granted, I don't think you realize how much is going on behind the scenes and how difficult it is, because it's emotional for you as well to be there watching something like that and seeing the reaction of everybody. And again, just hats off to everybody here in this newsroom, everybody on the air, all the producers. You just did an amazing job, and I want to let you know how much it was appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was hard at first when the news came out, but it was probably an honor for everyone to be there at the time, especially to go visit and everything.
And that's interesting that you say it was an honor, because it really, I think for anybody who covers something like that, you really do feel the solemnity of that moment, and you feel very honored even to be witnessing it and to share what you're seeing with all of our listeners and our fans out there. So thank you again, Nazir, and everybody else who was part of Friday's coverage for the for saying goodbye to Officer Kendall Corder. All right, it is 10 after 8 this morning, and we've got a busy show ahead. We're going to hear about what to expect this week. The Air and Water Show is going to be in town. And also, it's always kind of interesting. The Blue Angels are coming, and they come like the day before. Yeah. And anybody who's in the downtown area or even some of the outlying areas, when they start soaring over the skies, you look up, they're in town. We're going to tell you what exactly you'll be hearing them, and also some of the really wonderful acts that are going to be performing on the lakefront Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Also, we've got some tips for you for saving money from AARP. Tim Gibbons is going to be here. He's from the Milwaukee Business Journal, and he has news about a local manufacturer who's shutting down because of these tariffs. Also, Sandy Max is here with us. She's got a special concert she's been talking about. It's taking place tomorrow night, and it is with Lieutenant Dan. Oh, you know who Lieutenant Dan is from Forrest Gump. Gary Sinise will tell you about that. Also, we might hear something from him as well. We've got our consumer expert here for you as well, and she's got some advice if you are renting a car while you're on vacation. And then new at 9, we've got that story that happened here over the last couple of days. Very busy news days with a 7-year-old who was kidnapped. He is safe. There also was a quintuple shooting downtown early Saturday morning. We're going to break it down for you. We've got more on that coming up for you at new at 9. We've got a look at the week in review. Also, we've got Isaac here. He's pushing those buttons. Nazir Spencer is in the newsroom. And in just 2 minutes, it's Marquardt with Sports right here on WTMJ. It's going to be a pretty nice Sunday. We're going to have temperatures up there around 80 degrees. It is 69 at 8:12 on WTMJ.
Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints for your painting project at Menards. Max Bond Plus exterior paint and primer is designed to stand strong against weather extremes. It provides max adhesion, hide, and performance while repelling rain in just 90 minutes after application. And with Dutch Boy's high-performing paints that last, transforming your home has never been easier. Save big money on Dutch Boy paints and head into Menards to get your paint project started today.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Al Orr, CEO of Reinhardt. Our headquarters, overlooking City Hall, reflects our commitment to a thriving downtown. We're proud that its growing built environment continues to be shaped by the dedication of our attorneys and clients to constantly improving the city we call home.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia problems, cognitive decline. It's their specialty. They're great at it. And they also offer early memory loss classes. They can help your loved one with locations throughout our state, many here in Southeast Wisconsin. I've been in their facilities. They're top-notch. It's kindness at the core. It's compassion and empathy at Azura. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The ninth inning was something out of a movie for the Brewers yesterday. They started the inning down by 2 runs, but a 2-run double by Andrew Vaughn tied it up.
First pitch. Line drive, base hit right center. It's headed into the gap and all the way to the wall. Churio's in. Yelich is going to score, and we are tied. It's Vaughn's world, and we're just living in it.
The real turning point came later in the inning when Caleb Durbin hit an RBI single to win the game. Keep listening to Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News to hear that one a little later today. The Brewers and the Nationals meet one more time this afternoon. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo here on WTMJ. And it's going to be 3 Brewers for the All-Star Game Tuesday night in Atlanta when rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski joins teammates Freddie Peralta and Trevor McGill at Truist Park. The Miz takes over the spot from the Cubs' Matthew Boyd after only 5 Major League starts, the fewest ever for an All-Star player. I'm Mark Wart for WTMJ Sports.
Boy, I'll tell you, the Brewers are on fire. I don't think anybody at the beginning of the season thought there would be 3 pitchers from the Brewers in the All-Star Game.
Yeah, I am certainly not upset about it, though. I'll tell you that.
No, and I was lucky enough. My husband and I were at the game on Wednesday. Oh, that incredible win
that game
over the
crazy.
Dodgers. Oh my gosh! My husband is a huge Brewers and baseball fan. I mean, he can give you stats going back I don't know how many years, and he even said, "This is a game I will be talking about for a long time that I was here." So, yeah, they are on fire, and boy, it makes us all feel great to see the Brewers do as well as they are. All right, it is 8:16. We've got temperatures. You'll see a few clouds today, but overall, pretty nice day. High of 80 degrees. Tonight looks like we're going to get down to 65, and then Monday and Tuesday looks sunny, mid-80s. Next chance of rain is going to be on Wednesday. We have 69 degrees at 8:16 on WTMJ, and coming up in just a couple minutes, we're going to hear from Timothy Gibbons. He is the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. He's got a lot of business news for us this morning, including a lot of real estate news. Boy, condos and apartments going up everywhere. We'll hear all about it ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
While you may hail from the nation's capital, when we're up to bat, you'll be saying, "Holy mackerel."
Pitch is a fly ball deep center field, back to the track. Bye-bye baseball, Christian Yelich. 465 feet for Yelich.
It's the Brewers and the Nationals, an American family feel. Our Brewers game day coverage starts today at 12 with Brewers warm-up. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
We see you out there building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like 32-quart bags of oil dry floor absorbent or 200-count boxes of blue shop towels, $8.99 each. Duplicolor rubberized undercoat spray, $4.99. And new at Blaine's, AgriMaster Supreme Textured Chicken Feed, $15.99. Rewards members save an extra buck. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Being original.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. If you have big questions about inflation, money, and your retirement goals, join me Tuesday, July 15th with your questions as I co-host an Instant Insight webinar with Annex Wealth Management's Chief Economist, Brian Jacobson. It's July 15th at 9 a.m. It's free, but you must register. Go to WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or check out events at AnnexWealth.com. Tuesday, July 15th, 9 a.m. It's free, but you need to register.
Flooring, carpeting, bath, or kitchen remodeling. Adair is the name Milwaukee has trusted for 65 years. This is Rob Adair. Ready to remodel? Give us a call, 761-3660. Get personal care from Adair, South 27th in Franklin.
It's time to check in on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line with Timothy Gibbons. He's the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. You had a couple of stories this week about new. Are they both condo projects, or is one an apartment in Tosa?
One is an apartment, the other is condos, and they are at very different stages in their life cycle. Let's start with the one that is definitely happening, which is the Harlow and Hem apartment project. That has been in the works since, I want to say 2020, 2021, right around there. The Mandel Group has been trying to pull that project together. It was a parking lot. It was going to be a couple townhomes and apartments, and now it's 157 apartment units, kind of there in the, not exactly the heart of Tosa, but close to it. So Mandel Group is close to picking a general contractor. They got a few more hoops to jump through, but they say that groundbreaking is right around the corner.
And then the other one is a condo project.
Yeah, so I started out saying that we're going to start out talking about the one that's definitely happening. The condo project has some more challenges. So this is a sliver of land right there at the edge of the village. It's owned by the city. It had been an office, bought by the city, the office building knocked down, and now this quarter-acre triangular lot has been targeted for residential development for years and just hasn't been able to come together. So the new plan is for Tenderland Real Estate, which the former mayor of Waukesha is actually involved in. It has kind of ambitious plans for the site. Part of the problem is that the company would like the land basically given to them. And in a meeting yesterday, city officials there did not look very favorably at that idea. So there's a bunch of challenges with the site. It does sound strange for a developer maybe to say, hey, give us the property. The trade-off there is it's looking to add $4 million to the city's tax base. And the idea is it's not an incentive in like the form of TIF, although that probably would come up as well, but it's a way of taking this piece of property that's not generating anything for the city and making it generate some income.
I wish I could go to somebody and ask him to just give me land.
I mean, you can. They'll probably tell you no as well, but go ahead. I mean, knock yourself out.
Let's move to Cudahy Farms, and that housing project is going ahead?
It is going ahead after the longest meeting ever. Now, that's not actually true. I've covered a lot of government meetings, and I've been through longer ones.
How long was this meeting?
It was 9 hours total.
Oh.
This is the Zoning Neighborhoods and Development Committee of the Milwaukee City government, and the discussion on the Cudahy Farms project was 4 hours itself.
Oh.
So I got to say, I'm somebody who loves me a good zoning meeting, but that's pretty long. The issue, and it's why it took so long, is this is bringing a lot of housing to that site, which used to be the John C. Cudahy YMCA. It's going to have 215, I want to say, apartment units, including about 100 for senior citizens. It's aimed at those who need affordable housing. It will be at reduced rates for those making between 30% and 80% of the area's median income. The concern is over safety and environmental issues is what came up during this interminable meeting. The safety bit's an interesting one. The company Royal Capital, who is looking to develop it, they have a facility in Madison, and apparently there's been some safety issues there, including 2 homicides. Now, the company owns the one in Madison. They just recently began operating it. They had another operator when the criminal activity was happening, and they say that problem's been fixed once they took over running it, and they would be running the one here. So depends on how you look at it, if that should actually be an area of concern or not.
Big story that you broke this week, and that is the closing of Regal Rexnord's plant. Tell us what's going on with that.
So this is a development that definitely has some people up in arms. The Regal Rexnord is closing a facility in Cudahy next year. It's basically a way of them integrating different businesses as they try to plot a path forward into the future. Obviously, it's a interesting time in the manufacturing space. Regal Rexnord obviously makes heavy equipment products, and there are challenges. So they've changed a lot in the past couple of years, they tell us. They've integrated their businesses differently, and as they have made those changes, it's an opportunity for them to evaluate what do they actually need in terms of real estate, and the decision was that they don't actually need this Cudahy facility.
What happens to all the employees?
That's a big question. So Regal Rexnord closed a plant in West Milwaukee about 2 years ago, so they've laid people off there. So it's not clear that there's an obvious, this is where those workers will go. I mentioned a moment ago that it's a challenging time for manufacturers, and this is a pretty direct response to tariffs and the impacts that they're having. The company told us it's $130 million impact from tariffs, plus possibly more if there's retaliatory tariffs that come into play. Basically, all of that steel and aluminum and stuff that comes into the country, they use, and now they're paying more for it. So next year or so is going to be interesting as manufacturers try to adjust to this new reality and figure out what that means for their revenue and for their workforce.
What are you hearing from other manufacturers in the area about how the tariffs are having an impact?
Yeah, they're all concerned. I mean, we've reported stories about a lot of these companies that deal with different spots in the supply chain. So those who are doing domestic manufacturing, who in many cases actually do want some sort of tariffs because they manufacture stuff here, and having more remote can be good for them. But the problem is that the stuff being tariffed is at such a basic level, when we're talking about copper and steel and aluminum, that just bluntly, aluminum is not something that can very cost effectively be made in the United States. So the idea previously had been you have that made where it can more efficiently be made, and you make stuff with the aluminum here. Now the people who make stuff with the aluminum are being hit. And I don't think they expected that, frankly, because a lot of them did support the idea of tariffs on more finished goods, but not on the basic supply sort of material.
We're talking with Timothy Gibbons, editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. You mentioned how aluminum and steel is affecting manufacturers. Plastics, especially in Pleasant Prairie, are doing pretty well.
Yeah, so that's an expansion of a manufacturer. And interestingly, as a Canadian company, there's probably some amount of, if you're a Canadian plastics manufacturer, making stuff in the U.S. is probably not a bad idea right now. So Balkan Innovations is a company that makes basically plastic packaging, and they expanded their location there in Pleasant Prairie, adding about 15,000 square foot to a 215,000 plant. They bought the facility about 4 years ago and have been, frankly, ramping up operations there since then. So no matter what happens, there's definitely going to continue being a strong manufacturing base here in southeast Wisconsin.
It's interesting. You mentioned those tariffs in Canada, and there's been a lot of talk the last couple of days about them. Just break this down for us. If it's a Canadian-owned plant here in the United States manufacturing, they are not subject to the tariffs that they produce here in the U.S., but are they still subject to tariffs if some of their production is across the border?
Yes, in general. So the nationality, so to speak, of the company doesn't matter. It's where stuff is made. There is, at least today as we speak, that was the fun bit about tariffs that in these days are changing at a moment's notice, but things that are under the U.S., Canadian, Mexico trade agreement, they have been exempted. So there are particular products and particular items that are not being tariffed if they cross the border between the U.S. and either Mexico or Canada, but it doesn't apply to everything. And frankly, it gets pretty nuanced on what does count as a tariffed item and what does not.
All right. Let's move to Cudahy Farms, and that housing project is going ahead?
It is going ahead after the longest meeting ever. Now, that's not actually true. I've covered a lot of government meetings, and I've been through longer ones.
How long was this meeting?
It was 9 hours total.
Oh,
this is the Zoning, Neighborhoods, and Development Committee of the Milwaukee City government. And the discussion on the Cudahy Farms project was 4 hours itself.
Oh.
So I got to say, I'm somebody who loves me a good zoning meeting, but that's pretty long. The issue, and it's why it took so long, is this is bringing a lot of housing to that site, which used to be the John C. Cudahy YMCA. It's going to have 215, I want to say, apartment units, including about 100 for senior citizens. It's aimed at those who need affordable housing. It will be at reduced rates for those making between 30% and 80% of the area's median income. The concern is over safety and environmental issues is what came up during this interminable meeting. The safety bit's an interesting one. The company Royal Capital, who is looking to develop it, they have a facility in Madison, and apparently there's been some safety issues there, including 2 homicides. Now, the company owns the one in Madison. They just recently began operating it. They had another operator when the criminal activity was happening, and they say that problem's been fixed once they took over running it, and they would be running the one here. So depends on how you look at it, if that should actually be an area of concern or not.
And that was Tim Gibbons. He's editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. You're going to see some sun today. There'll be a few clouds out there, but overall not too bad. 80 for a high. Tonight's low is going to be 65, and then the next couple days, Monday and Tuesday, sunny in the mid-80s. 69 degrees at 8:27 on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry. I love Guthrie and Fry. I've got their water softener, the salt delivered right to the basement. Their RO system, which filters the water in our house. What we drink, what we cook with, is crisp, clean, clear. It's Guthrie and Fry water conditionings, the best in the business. They also provide well pump system service, routine service, and emergency service. For when you need it, they've been doing that since 1974. At Guthrie and Fry, they know that better water makes a big difference. The teams I trust are at Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding plus to their names. It's fairly obvious they were inspired by Hassellus mattress. Hassellus showrooms are employee-free, plus unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic, plus free next-day delivery, plus 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with approved credit, plus a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress. Maybe we should change our name to Hassellus Plus. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassellus.com.
It's always a beautiful experience coming out to the ballpark. Many fans prep in the parking lot amongst our legendary tailgaters. When you're ready for new windows and doors, prep for those at the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield. See, feel, open, close, and compare dozens of window and door options from different Pella lines side by side. And if you order by July 31st, get 0% interest for up to 5 years on Blue Mountain Road, or visit PellaWI.com today.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
We're coming up to 8:29 on WTMJ, and it has been a violent weekend in and around Milwaukee. Nazir, right at the corner of what? Water and Michigan, was it right after midnight?
Yep.
Yesterday?
Right after midnight, yep.
5 people were shot,
Mm-hmm.
1 fatally.
Yep.
Tell us about it.
1 person is dead and 4 are in the hospital after a quintuple shooting Saturday morning in Milwaukee. It took place just after midnight near the corners of Water Street and Michigan Street. The 52-year-old Antoine Tweezy Hogans was pronounced dead at the scene. Hogans was a popular local club promoter and owner of a hookah lounge. A 39-year-old, a 34-year-old, a 32-year-old, and a 30-year-old were non-fatally shot and are being treated at a local hospital. Milwaukee police are continuing to search for unknown suspects at this time as the investigation continues. 1 person is dead and another is in the hospital after a burglary resulted in a double shooting in Racine Friday night. It took place at around 11:30 p.m. near the corners of St. Patrick Street and St. Clair Street. Racine police say when they arrived at the scene, they found a 52-year-old and a 21-year-old both shot. Both were taken to a local hospital, but the 52-year-old died from his wounds. The 21-year-old remains in the hospital. Racine police say they are interviewing the suspect shooter in the case as the investigation is ongoing. A 7-year-old boy who was the subject of an Amber Alert Saturday has been found safe. Jamal White was abducted at gunpoint at around 11 p.m. on Friday night. Milwaukee police say he was found safely at around 6:30 on Saturday. It is unknown if a suspect is in custody at this time. Taking a look at the roads with the WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, cloudy skies with a high of 82 and winds are a little light today. Tonight, a low of 68 and a few clouds. Tomorrow, Monday, sunny with a high of 85 and a low of 70. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high of 87 and a low of 73. Wednesday, scattered thunderstorms with a high of 87 and low of 72. And Thursday, also scattered thunderstorms. Right now in Oshkosh, it's 67. In Racine, it's 70, and in Milwaukee, it's 69 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:32.
Thanks a lot, Nazir. And in just 2 minutes, it's the Weekend Review, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Over 60 years in business, with over 60 vehicles out in the field so we can respond ultra quickly to your emergency AC needs. When you call Quality for emergency AC service, you can count on a swift response to get the job done right away. So if the heat's got you to the point where it's just too hot to handle, call Quality and we'll get you the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Welcome back to the second half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. It's 8:34. Well, this past week, there were devastating floods in Texas. It was a monumental sweep for the crew, and we laid to rest a fallen hero. It was so much more as well. It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
Overnight, another 7 bodies were found in the waterlogged debris left by the flood here in Kerr County. Across 5 counties, at least 87 people lost their lives when extreme rainfall pushed rivers here in the Hill Country well out of their banks. 27 of those who died were children and counselors at one summer camp.
You don't say, oh, this is what you voted for when children are literally dying.
Well, and some breaking news this morning out of Madison, Vince. The state Supreme Court is clearing the way for the state to institute a ban on conversion therapy.
Wait, you mean that's allowed in Wisconsin?
Everybody is okay. There were no injuries in the news department or in any of our production
Oh,
studios.
no, you're not going to tell our secrets, are you?
When a cockroach ran across the foot of our producer.
World domination!
And a fly ball out to center. Well struck. This is way out of here. Shohei Ohtani.
Okay. Let's try this again.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a middle strike out of Betts and a good response. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. It's a dozen for the Miz. 0-1. Ground ball sharply hit. Backhanded by Monasterio. Third. Comes home with it. They've got Ohtani at the plate. And Mizorowski gets out of it in the 6th.
Julie Esch's departure from MCTS was relayed in an internal email late Tuesday. The resignation comes as MCTS faces a nearly $11 million budget deficit due in part to bloating overtime hours and riders not paying their bus fare.
Drive the bus! We have the governor of the great state of Wisconsin, Governor Tony Evers, joining us.
Somebody makes a decision in Washington, D.C. that anybody that's undocumented has to go home. That would be bull for Wisconsin.
Yates brings home the pitch. And a ground ball through the left side, into left field for a base hit. Jackson Churio has walked off the Dodgers here this afternoon. It is brooms for the Brewers as they sweep the Dodgers for the first time ever here in Milwaukee.
I'm Lieutenant Dan Taylor. Welcome to Fort Platoon.
Actor Gary Sinise, who will be in Milwaukee on Monday. Why are you coming to support Skylight Music Theater?
Nonprofit theater is an ongoing challenge, and I remember it all too well.
Where the blubbery little pygmy hippo has just turned 1. Moodang became a viral sensation when she was born.
I have no animosity towards this hippo or any other.
I don't know.
I asked why is this hippo on my television again today?
She's just a potato, a moist potato.
Potatoes! What a special day today has been. The rededication of the Lance Cy-John Fighter Jet Memorial at Cy-John Plaza on Howell Avenue.
We tell those who serve, who have given their lives, and the families that love and lost them, we won't forget you.
It's crazy to see the different amount of people from different parts of the world here in Milwaukee. It does not get any better than Harley Homecoming Weekend in Milwaukee. I guarantee it.
Already meeting your Super Bowl and Christmas expectation.
The procession, the transference of the body of fallen Milwaukee police officer Kendall Corder is underway.
Outside Elmbrook Church, the atmosphere was quiet and respectful. A few community members stood near the lot, some with flags, others with their hands over their heart. The first wave of squad cars arrived early, calm and organized. A still, heavy moment as the farewell to Officer Kendall Corder began.
They're out here, they don't know you, they're here to protect you. You know, it takes a special person to do that. So just remember that.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave. What are we, gay?
What a week.
That would be bull.
Drive the bus! Potato.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
And that is the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. And what a great turnout for the rededication of the Lance Cy-John Memorial. John McCure, Salute. 9 years. 9 years he worked on that. Great job. And thank you to everybody who came out for that. It's, let's see, we're coming up to 8:39. What's our weather today? Not so bad. There'll be a few clouds out there, but overall not too bad. High of 80 degrees. And tonight we're going to get down to about 65. Tomorrow and Tuesday, both beautiful with sunshine, mid-80s. And then Wednesday, that's when you're going to see a chance of rain with a high of 84. We're at 69 degrees on WTMJ. And coming up in just a couple minutes, if you're going on vacation, if you get off that plane and you got to rent a car, oh, there's some things you need to know, and we'll tell you all about it. It's all coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Hi, Mitzi. What's the news from Kessler's in Brookfield?
Everything's smooth like butter. We're all just marching to the beat of the big bass drum.
That sounds like fun.
Your email said you wanted to talk about 32 things. What are they?
The 32 things are rare and special engagement rings.
Tell me more.
Each one of these amazing rings is just waiting for someone to choose the center stone.
What about the side stones?
All the side stones are Kessler 81s.
81 windows exploding with light instead of just 57 windows that are modestly glowing like most other diamonds.
We have 16 rings in 18 karat gold and 16 rings in platinum.
All they need is a center diamond?
Yeah, and our prices on natural center diamonds and created center diamonds are incredibly low right now.
Each store has a beautiful assortment of these rings?
Yes, and they're priced from just $900 up to $3,900.
Good job. Keep marching to the beat of that big bass drum, Mitzi.
I'm excited.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
You know, sometimes it's a bit of a hassle when you get off that plane and you head over to the rental car counter. Well, joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is our consumer expert, Michelle Reinen. What tips would you have for somebody if they're renting a car?
Well, here you really want to evaluate your options because it can be very overwhelming. Consider things like traditional car rental companies versus car share platforms, no cancellation policies, infotainment systems, extra fees and charges, rental policies, roadside assistance options, insurance. Evaluate all that up front before you get to any rental counter or make any decisions. And there's lots of different guides and informations for you. The Federal Trade Commission has an online guide called Rent a Car. You can find that at consumer.ftc.gov. DADCAP has a fact sheet of car rentals and collision damage waivers, and you can get that at our website. Or the Better Business Bureau has an article on car rental tips. Rent a car and be happy. You can find that at bbb.org.
And we've got a one-stop phone number for you to call, and that is the Consumer Protection Hotline. What is it, Michelle?
1-800-422-7128.
Yeah, and really good advice, too, is make sure you take pictures of that car when you first pick it up. I got a story for you, Isaac.
Oh, boy.
So my husband and I rented a car. We had to drive to Florida in it and to take the dog to Florida.
Right.
And rented the car. And I noticed there was something a little weird about the smell inside the car. And, you know, we were in a hurry to leave and stuff, so I didn't really think about it. And I thought, well, because we rented it the night before we left, next day, you know, kind of like, oh, that's weird. So we drove and we're driving. And finally I get out of the car because I didn't notice the smell anymore. Got out of the car with the dog, came back in and thought, whoa, that is really, really a strong smell. Well, I had noticed the dog slept the entire way. And finally, it dawned on me. I mean, it takes me a while, right? The license plate on this car had been California, so that car obviously had been driven from California to Milwaukee. Somebody had been smoking, not tobacco, in that car.
Oh.
And let me tell you, that dog was real. I think my husband and I, we didn't talk the whole way. I could figure it out at the time. All right, so you might want to check that out before you rent a car as well.
Maybe extra stops at McDonald's.
I'm glad we didn't get pulled over, I'll tell you that. All right, yeah, that was car experience. If I ever notice that again, trust me, I'll ask for another car. But I'm a little slow there. All right, 8:44 is the time. We got Mark Horton Sports right after this.
Hey, John Mercure here. I am so done with those tangled holiday lights. That's why I'm super impressed with the permanent lighting solutions from Landworks, Wisconsin. Their team installs a discreet professional system that can make your home shine for any holiday, game day, or season with the touch of a button. And their commitment to year-round beauty is what Landworks is all about. It's in their custom-designed patios, stunning garden renovations, and attention to detail. It's Landworks, Wisconsin. They'll take care of you. They'll make you shine. Check it out at landworkswisconsin.com.
The Milo bedroom from Penny Mustard takes you back to the time of Mad Men, martinis, and mop tops.
Right on. I love Milo's clean, streamlined look. It's a gas.
Made in the USA and scaled to fit any room.
Perfect for your pad. It's totally bodacious.
Wrong decade, Arvid.
Don't be so square, man. The Milo bedroom with queen platform bed, 6-drawer dresser, mirror, and 3-drawer nightstand, starting at $52.09 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. It was a nail-biter for the Brewers yesterday as they entered the ninth down by 2. After Andrew Vaughn tied the game with a 2 RBI double, we got this from Caleb Durbin.
Line drive, base hit! Ball game over! Caleb Durbin does it again! 6-5 the final as the Brewers come off the mat, beat Finnegan and beat the Nats, and the winning streak is up to 6 for the Brewers. Unbelievable.
The Brewers and the Nationals meet one more time this afternoon. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo here on WTMJ. And it's going to be 3 Brewers for the All-Star Game Tuesday night in Atlanta when rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski joins teammates Freddie Peralta and Trevor McGill at Truist Park. The Miz takes over the spot from the Cubs' Matthew Boyd after only 5 Major League starts, the fewest ever for an All-Star player. I'm Mark Hort with WTMJ Sports.
Thanks a lot, Mark Hort. Exciting time for the Brewers. 8:47. We're going to have a nice day today. A few clouds up there, but high of 80 degrees. Sort of, and you're not feeling that humidity. So it's really, really nice. 69 at 8:47 on WTMJ. Coming up in just a couple minutes, it is Sandy Max with Sunday What's on Tap. Lieutenant Dan is going to be in town tomorrow. She's going to tell you all about it right here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
It's worth $100 now to save thousands later. Vince Vitrano for Urban Heating and Cooling. Family-owned business. Ryan and his wife, Ellie. I had Ryan out to the Vitrano house for an AC tune-up. Cleaned out all the coils, checked for any issues that could cause breakdowns, set up my air conditioner to run more efficiently all summer. This service available in your home for just $99 plus tax, saving on your electric bills, helping prevent more costly repairs down the road. Tell them Vinny sent you when you call. UrbanHeatingandCooling.com.
The leader in the dugout, the skipper, the man who riles up the crew with his words of inspiration.
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's our guy. Brewers manager Pat Murphy joins Wisconsin's Morning News every Tuesday at 8:45 for Brewers 360.
We're a team that the other team's going to feel us. You're not going to walk away from a series and not be felt. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My wife recently had a major accident that involved her back. I felt blessed and lucky because Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is on our side. She's on the way to healing. They've got the best imaging and best doctors, the best systems, and the best way of taking care of you. They've got experts when it comes to things like shoulders, knees, and hips. And it's not always surgery. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin will take care of you from beginning to end. Go to their website, OHOW.com, OHOW.com. Request an appointment. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Several locations, several choices. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Well, it's time for Sandy Max with Sunday What's on Tap. You had a huge interview on Thursday with a big star that we all know, and he's going to be in town tomorrow night. Tell us all about Gary Sinise.
What isn't there to love about Gary Sinise? He's a joy to watch in every role he's ever been in, whether it's in Forrest Gump as Lieutenant Dan or in Apollo 13. I mean, you just name all the CSI New York fans. Like, he always brings a special presence to every role. President Truman, there's just so many roles he's had, and that's just on screen. He is such a good human. He's such a good person. And wait a minute, in creativity, he was a co-founder of Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago in the 70s.
Which was huge.
Yeah, and Steppenwolf Theater's still going strong, and one of their productions just won a Tony Award. So he's left that legacy so far in his career, but his real legacy, as you can imagine, is veterans. And if you want to hear the whole conversation, I'm so glad to share it. If you text the word Gary to the Citing Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, text GARY, text Gary to 855-616-1620, and you can hear the whole conversation with Gary Sinise about how much he supports veterans, but also his passion for theater and how ever since the 70s, he has always had a veterans night at Steppenwolf Theater. That's how this started, giving back and connecting veterans.
So tell us, what is he going to be doing in Milwaukee?
I know. I'm so sorry. I just got so excited about talking to Gary Sinise, but this is what you will hear in the interview. He is longtime friends, going all the way back to the beginning of the Steppenwolf years. So about 50 years friendship with the Skylight Music Theater artistic director, Michael Unger. They both grew up in Highland Park. They started in theater way back when. And Michael Unger also wound up being Gary Sinise's assistant in about 1994, right when Forrest Gump was hitting, right when Apollo 13, because he wound up being Gary's assistant. So they've really had adventures and stories together. So we get some of those stories. But now Skylight Music Theater is holding this fundraiser tomorrow. Skylight Rocks. It's a concert by Gary Sinise and his Lieutenant Dan Band. And a lot of people saw the Lieutenant Dan Band at EAA AirVenture like 10 years ago. They've done a few performances there, but the Lieutenant Dan Band usually only plays for military, either active military or veterans all around the world. In August, they will have performed their 600th show. And Gary Sinise gets out his bass guitar and plays along with some of the most talented musicians you've ever seen. And they are a party band. They're a ton of fun. And it was really a joy to get to talk with him. He's such a humanitarian and real deal, dedicated to both arts and culture and believes in regional theater. Again, he started Steppenwolf, and now we've got a lot of arts organizations right here in Milwaukee and Wisconsin who are still recovering from the financial blow of the pandemic. It is still long-lasting, and with inflation and with philanthropy going down, these are some tough times, and if you love the arts and theater, this is the time to go see a show. And Skylight Music Theater has been around over 65 years.
Are there still tickets available? Because
yes.
I know this is a huge show.
Skylight Rocks. It is at the Aurora Pavilion tomorrow night. So that big white tent at the Midgate at the Summerfest grounds on Henry Meyer Festival Park. There are tickets still available. And honestly, bleacher seats are $40. So it's a fundraiser for Skylight Music Theater, but it isn't like rattle your jewelry. It isn't $700 a ticket. It really is to bring everybody together, and it's a great chance to see Gary Sinise on stage and have fun. And I did ask him what kind of music to expect if you've never seen Lieutenant Dan Band.
So there's so many great songs that we play. We do Dave Matthews stuff. We do Springsteen stuff. We do contemporary. So we even do a Dua Lipa song in the band. I mean, we're all over the place. We're doing everything.
They are the best cover band ever. And if you come to the concert, which you all should, you have a chance to win tickets to shows in our next season, but also you have a chance, we're raffling off one of Gary's personal guitars autographed by Gary.
How cool would it be to have a bass guitar signed by Gary Sinise in your house? That's a heck of a souvenir.
Gosh, something I think my husband would like.
So you have to be at the show, get the raffle ticket there. But I mean, just what a fun night of bringing people together for a great cause, supporting Skylight Music Theater. And musical theater is just in the title that brings you up and is uplifting. And one of the interesting things about Gary Sinise is the fact that he leans all the way into Lieutenant Dan. And in our conversations, he's like, I can't avoid it. It is what people resonate with so much. That Lieutenant Dan story in Forrest Gump really was meaningful. And I asked him why he thought it was so special of a role.
It's a great story when you think about it. Back then, there were several movies that came out about Vietnam. Look at the Vietnam veterans in those films, and you just always felt, I'm not sure they're going to make it. I'm not sure they're going to be okay. And then along comes Forrest Gump, and what happens? You've got a Vietnam veteran who's successful. He's married at the end. He's moving on with his life. He's standing up again, and he's pushing forward. And we really hadn't seen that happy ending story of a Vietnam veteran before Forrest Gump.
Actor Gary Sinise, who played Lieutenant Dan, he brings up that really good point, because when you think of Deer Hunter and Platoon and some of those harrowing movies about the Vietnam War experience, it really was the damage and the distress and the drama from that, whereas Lieutenant Dan really does work through his anger.
It's inspirational.
Yes.
Compared to a lot of those other movies that you just mentioned, because you come away from them feeling very depressed. And
just spotlighting that aspect of the experience and not seeing that veteran move forward.
But with Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump, as you said, it's a whole other experience, and you get a whole other feel for a lot of veterans who did make it through and did okay.
And it helps him truly connect with veterans that he meets around the world, because, as you know, he walks the walk. And if you haven't had a chance to read his memoir, I highly recommend it. He's such a good human, and I'm glad he's going to be coming back. The Lieutenant Dan Band is rocking Fort McCoy tonight, so you might see a Sinise sighting near Toma or Sparta. And then tomorrow night, rocking right here in Milwaukee. It's the first time Lieutenant Dan Band has ever played Milwaukee.
And I know you are going to be there, and I'm going to be filling in for you on What's on Tap, but you're going to be checking in with us from the concert.
Yeah, I get to go to the sound check tomorrow. So about 5 o'clock, be watching the band warm up. The showtime is 7. So since you'll be filling in on What's on Tap, thank you very much. It allows me to be there rocking out with the Lieutenant Dan Band at the Aurora Pavilion right there on the Summerfest grounds. And tickets are available, skylightmusictheater.org. I'm sure if you just Google Skylight Music Theater. And actually, if you text the word Gary to 855-616-1620, we have the ticket link there too. So text the word Gary to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. You'll hear that full conversation with Gary Sinise and get the ticket link, because I just think it's going to be a fun night tomorrow.
Oh, I think it will be.
And I will check in with you since you're filling in. Thank you very much on What's on Tap tomorrow, starting at 6. I'll check in with you after 6 and after 7.
One other question I have for you, because I know you had an interview with a good friend of yours who's seen the Superman movie, which is the biggest thing this weekend, except for Gary Sinise going to be in town. What did he say? Did he like it?
Word Balloon podcaster John Suntress, longtime friend of mine, and it's all a pop culture podcast focusing on graphic novels. He is well-versed in the superhero universe, and he gave it a thumbs up. He really enjoys the hopeful tone of this film. He says that the cast is great and that Nicholas Hoult, who plays Lex Luthor, is a great villain. The chemistry between Lois Lane and Superman is great. And he did make sure to mention, without my prompting, that Crypto, Superman's dog, is a great touch, and in such a way that it really does make this film family-friendly, even with all the action scenes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yay.
I'm glad to hear it. I still got to get tickets. Sandy Bax, always great to have you here.
Thanks, Libby.
And I am going to be filling in for Sandy tomorrow on What's on Tap at 6 o'clock, and you know who's going to be joining us? Our old friend Matt Miller. Yes, he's going to be here in person in the studio with me, and we're going to talk a little bit about why. I know we'll talk about Superman, because he and I think, are both crypto fans, but also we're going to talk about what he does. You know what he does in the summer? He goes from ballpark to ballpark all over the United States, and his goal is to hit every single one of them. We're going to find out about that with Matt Miller on What's on Tap tomorrow night at 6. It's 8:58, and we'll be back after the news. It's going to be new at 9, and what do we know about the kidnapping of that 7-year-old from the streets of Milwaukee? We'll tell you about that, and also more on the quintuple shooting that took place early yesterday morning at the corner of Michigan and Water in Milwaukee. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
With all the positive Google reviews continuing to pour in for Rich Lawn's Tire and Service Centers, we want you to know we appreciate you.
You were
you for service. We delivered, and then you went the extra mile and wrote a few kind words about the service you experienced.
Yeah, thank you so much. Michael, Glenn, Jeff, Lisa, Carol, Jason, John,
Wait,
Michelle,
hang on a second,
Ryan.
Dad. As fun as it may be to name every single person who's ever left us a Google review, there just isn't enough time. We get 60 seconds, and I'd say we've got about, 28 left.
Ah, good point, Courtney.
Listen, we appreciate every last one of you for helping us maintain a nearly 5-star Google rating. And we're going to keep on shooting for the stars, especially when it comes to providing top-notch auto repair service.
Yep, and remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. Peter, Bruce, Samantha, Kimberly, Nick, Heather,
Oh,
Marissa,
Dad.
George, Jeremy, Diane, Brad, Paul.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Forget all that chatter in Washington. Let's hear Milwaukee make some noise.
Backhanded by Vaughn. Runs to the bag, and Mizorowski gets out of it in the sixth.
It's the Brewers hosting the Nationals.
American Family Field on their feet and in approval.
Our Brewers game day coverage starts today at 12 with Brewers warm-up on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it's 70 degrees. Today, cloudy skies with a high of 82. Tonight, a few clouds and a low of 68. From WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Nazir Spencer. A wildfire emergency near the Grand Canyon has shuttered the national park as fire crews work to try and contain some of the larger fires, including the White Sage Fire. ABC's Melissa Aiden is in Los Angeles with more.
Evacuation orders remain in place in Arizona. This is near the Grand Canyon due to these explosive wildfires. The White Sage Fire is nearly 20,000 acres, growing almost 40 times in size over 48 hours. And the flames there are along the north rim of the Grand Canyon National Park.
The fire is still under investigation as severe weather continues to rise throughout the country. The final call for Officer Kendall Corder.
It is with great sorrow that we mourn the passing of Squad 2253, Officer Kendall Corder, who served the Milwaukee Police Department and the citizens of Milwaukee. Officer Kendall Corder, badge number 3509 of the Milwaukee Police Department, end of watch, June 29th, 2025. May you rest in peace. We have the watch from here.
Officer Kendall Corder was killed in the line of duty in an ambush in June. Corder was laid to rest at Wisconsin Memorial Park in a private ceremony. Community members show up to honor Officer Corder.
I'm just at a loss for words. It's a sad day right now. And I'm just here to show my support for a hero.
Joe Ostrowski was one of many residents that lined the streets Friday afternoon to pay their respects to the fallen Milwaukee police officer.
And the stuff they deal with, I wouldn't be able to deal with. And I don't know how they do it, honestly, with the way the world is and everything. And I don't know, it just hits me.
Corder is the sixth officer to be killed in the line of duty since 2018. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Lush landscaping and vibrant floral displays this weekend in Cedarburg. It's the 15th annual garden walk hosted by the Cedarburg Women's Club. Christine Siegelman tells WTMJ 5 private gardens will be featured on the walk.
Some of them go around and they label every different type of plant, shrubbery, tree, so that the people that are visiting are able to know what they are and can duplicate, if they wish, in their own gardens.
The garden walk's final day is today. More details at WTMJ.com. Summerfest may be over, but festivals on the ground are just beginning.
a new lakefront festival in Milwaukee. This year marks the first annual Incredible India Fest, which celebrates the music, food, and culture of India. Operations Director of Incredible India Fest, Daniel Pena, tells WTMJ that the festival was put together in just 6 short weeks.
We are calling this the first annual because we are for sure going to bring this back, year after year after year. Hopefully to be one of the long-running ethnic festivals on the grounds, just like, so many of our other favorites.
Elizabeth Linton and WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:04.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
After writing 3 unsuccessful offers, Brenda decided to make a no-regrets offer on this next property. She offered $35,000 over asking and promised to complete the purchase even if the appraised value came in as much as $25,000 below the accepted offer price. Why? Because she was tired of losing, and because her Accunet loan consultant showed her that even in her worst-case scenario, no additional money would be needed at closing, and her payment, which on this home was much more affordable than others she wrote offers on, would only increase by $17 a month. Brenda's no-regrets offer, backed up by a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet, was accepted over several others. And wouldn't you know, the appraised value came in at the significantly higher than asking purchase price, which happens 9 out of 10 times in our experience. If you or someone you know wants help understanding what a no-regrets pre-approval might look like, get started by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Hey, this is Honest Eddie from the car lot down the street.
Hi, Honest Eddie.
Is it true your showrooms don't have any employees?
That's right. Hasselus mattress showrooms are employee-free.
Now, don't you be dishonest with Honest Eddie.
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, to make it in sales, you gotta pressure people. Like, what's your budget? Or, I know it's the most expensive model, but trust me, it's the right one for you. And what's it gonna take to get you into a Sealy Posturepedic or Beauty Rest today?
But that's hassling customers.
Yeah, so?
Our store is called Hassle Less Mattress.
Just change the name. How about Wacky Westerns?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Hasseless Mattress, 100% Eddie free. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at hasseless.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers win against the Washington Nationals once again on Saturday, stretching their win streak to 8. They have a chance to take the lead in the division with their final matchup against the Nationals this afternoon at 1:10 p.m. Brewers warm-up begins at 12:05 right here on WTMJ. Taking a look at the roads with the WTMJ Time Saver traffic. There's a crash on a ramp from County G to I-94 East. It seems to be cleaned up now, but just in case that it's not, police are outside there making sure that everyone is all right, and it seems the vehicle has driven off, but otherwise, no major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, cloudy skies with a high of 82. Tonight, a few clouds with a low of 68. Monday, sunny with a high of 85 and low of 70. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high of 87, low of 73. Wednesday, scattered showers with a high of 87 and a low of 72. And Thursday, scattered thunderstorms as well. And right now in Madison, it's 67. In Green Bay, it's 70. In Waukesha, it's 70. And in Milwaukee, it's 70 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:08.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
And welcome back to the second hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. Nazir, I don't know about you. Did your phone go off at 11 o'clock on Friday night with the Amber Alert for little 7-year-old Jamal White, who is safe, as you said,
right, absolutely,
this morning?
Yep.
But first of all, I jumped. I was just getting ready for bed at the time, and I jumped when that went off because it goes off on all the phones at once. But what I find really interesting about this case is so often when we hear about these abductions, child abductions, it's a parent and it's a custody issue, and But in this case, it was what, and I think there's even video of it somewhere where you see this little boy riding his bike through a street, looks like a nice neighborhood, and you see a white Jeep sort of turn around and then go after him. This was a really strange case.
Right.
Now, they found Jamal. He just was at a corner where last night?
He was at a corner on, one second, let me check real quick. It was on a corner of 39th and Lloyd.
Yeah, 39th and Lloyd. And when they abducted him, did they take the bike? Do we know that, or did they just take him?
I believe so. They dropped him off just alone. I don't believe there was a bike.
Who found him? How when
I don't know
when
exactly.
he was found?
I don't know exactly who found him, but where they sat him, it seemed to be just by himself, just sitting on the corner. Just someone. I think someone just saw him and asked him maybe like, "Are you Jamal? Like, is your name Jamal?" That's what I would assume at least. And authorities probably were called as they were probably actively searching for him.
It is a really weird story.
Yep.
And have the police indicated that they have a suspect in mind? Because they don't seem to. It doesn't seem to be related to a father or mother or anything like that.
Yeah, it's unknown if a suspect is in custody at this time, but I expect someone to eventually be in custody. As this seemed a little off. As you said, they were roaming in front of the house maybe and saw the little boy riding on his bike and turned around immediately and took him. So it's very interesting to see something go down like that.
Has the police indicated that the public needs to be concerned because there's somebody on the streets of Milwaukee randomly abducting children?
I don't think so, but I think people are more alert now that they got that crazy Amber Alert in the morning that, maybe to keep an eye on your kids when they're outside on their bikes and everything like that.
So he was gone 24 hours.
Yep. And he was taken Friday night and dropped off Saturday night.
And nobody's saying what exactly went on.
Not at all. It's very unknown at the moment and still being investigated.
That is an odd story.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad the little boy is okay. I'm sure his mother is very relieved to have him back. But again, that's one of those stories. I would like to know the whole story behind the story because it seems rather odd. The other one that I think a lot of people are disturbed about is this quintuple shooting that took place yesterday morning just after midnight. Now, explain what we know about that.
So apparently there was another person that passed away in the hospital.
So now there's two fatalities from these 5 people who were shot.
Yes. So, this a 52-year-old Antoine Tweezy Hogans, he was shot at Water Street in Michigan, and another was pronounced dead at the hospital. From what I've heard, it was a crossfire, and he wasn't supposed to be shot at that moment.
Antoine Hogans.
Right. Yes. I that's what I've been told, but that's not confirmed, obviously. But I don't know exactly the entire story of who's there and what happened at the time. But from what I'm hearing from outside sources on the streets and everything like that, he was just a crossfire. They weren't. I don't think they were targeting.
Of 4 other guys shooting at each other.
Right. Yeah.
Which in itself.
Right. And maybe
is a problem.
I saw something like that. If he turned around and they realized who he was, they probably wouldn't have shot him. Maybe they wouldn't have. But again, we don't know the exact situation.
He was rather well known.
Yeah, he was very well
area.
known. He was a club promoter and an owner of a hookah lounge. So on the north side. So he's very well known and grew up with a lot of people in the Milwaukee area. So he loves the city. He was trying to promote and put everyone on every weekend and everything like that. So it was very tragic to see that something like that Milwaukee was really mourning this weekend with obviously Kendall Corder and then the child being abducted and then Antoine Tweezy Hogans being killed and now another person died in the hospital from that same event.
Yeah, and again, was it a case of just this Hogans being in the wrong place at the wrong time?
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I would assume so because it didn't seem like he was a problematic man. So, from what I'm hearing about, how people are describing him. So
very disturbing.
Right.
Very disturbing, and especially for something like that to be going on, literally a gunfight at at Water and Hogan's at midnight on a Friday night.
Yep. Yeah, Water Street and Michigan Street have been.
Did they say all 4 of those people had guns?
No, I wasn't. They didn't tell me that, or they didn't give us any information on that. I just know those 5 people were shot, and 2 of them are sadly gone now.
Just terrible. Yep. All right. Well, I know you're staying on top of it, and again, I guess the good news this morning is that little 7-year-old Jamal White is okay.
Yep.
But again, I want to know the rest of that story.
Absolutely.
All right. Nazir Spencer, thanks so much for being here with us this morning. Still ahead this hour, we're going to be hearing about the Air and Water Show that's going to be occurring next weekend. They'll have rehearsals on Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday are the big shows. But the cool part of it is the Blue Angels are going to be in town, and they always come in ahead of time. And you can hear them. I mean, you can see them. They're up there doing their routines. And we'll hear exactly when they are expected in Milwaukee and so much more. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. It's going to be a beautiful day today. Temperature around 80. Yeah, there's a few clouds out there, but all in all, not too bad because it doesn't feel as humid as it's been. It's 69 degrees right now at WTMJ.
Some of our customers want a glass shower door for the look. Some want it for a better use of their space, while others need a new glass shower door just to be safe. Like a customer we had last month. Her daughter had been hounding her to turn that old bathtub of hers into a walk-in shower. She was afraid her mother might slip when there was no one around to help her. Stepping over that bathtub wall isn't exactly safe, and besides, those old bathtub floors can be kind of slippery too. Installing a new glass shower door is pretty affordable, and not only is it safer, but it also gives your bathroom a great new look. And when you stop in our showroom, you'll see just how many options we have to give you the look you want. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service, and glass and mirrors have been our business for over 35 years. So if it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
John Mercure here for Landworks Wisconsin. Are you looking at your yard and thinking about what could be? Not just new flowers, but a complete vision? A beautiful stone patio that flows into a winding garden path, leading to the perfect spot for a fire pit. Landworks Wisconsin specializes in bringing those big ideas to life. From the initial sketch to the final planting, their expert team manages the entire project, ensuring your new outdoor living space, the patios, the walls, the gardens, all work together in one seamless, stunning design. Start your transformation today at landworkswisconsin.com.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The ninth inning was something out of a movie for the Brewers yesterday. They started the inning down by 2 runs, but then Andrew Vaughn stepped up to the plate.
First pitch. Line drive, base hit right center. It's headed into the gap and all the way to the wall. Churio's in. Yelich is going to score, and we are tied. It's Vaughn's world, and we're just living in it.
The real turning point came later in the inning when Caleb Durbin hit an RBI single to win the game. The Brewers and the Nationals meet one more time this afternoon. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Cotroneo here on WTMJ. And it's going to be 3 Brewers for the All-Star Game Tuesday night in Atlanta when rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski joins his teammates Freddie Peralta and Trevor McGill at Truist Park. The Miz takes over the spot from Cubs' Matthew Boyd after only 5 Major League starts, the fewest ever for an All-Star player. I'm Mark Wart with WTMJ Sports.
You know how I know it's a good game?
How's that?
So last night, I was getting dinner ready, and my husband had been doing something outside, and I could tell the game wasn't going well because he left the game to go outside and do something. Came back in and he said, well, before I just want to check the score. And he went in the den, and all of a sudden I hear this yelling from the other room. And yep, Brewers won. But yeah, always, he's sort of my barometer on things like that. So, yeah, great game again. And how do we not have smiles on our face with the way the Brewers are doing lately? And today, our coverage gets underway at noon.
Yes.
Looking forward to it. I hope it's another good one going into that All-Star break. It's 9:19 on WTMJ. We have 69 degrees. We're going to get up to about 80.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. If you have big questions about inflation, money, and your retirement goals, join me Tuesday, July 15th with your questions as I co-host an Instant Insight webinar with Annex Wealth Management's Chief Economist, Brian Jacobson. It's July 15th at 9 a.m. It's free, but you must register. Go to WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or check out events at AnnexWealth.com. Tuesday, July 15th, 9 a.m. It's free, but you need to register.
Save on the best quality furniture and mattresses during the July Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. With major discounts from our premier suppliers, you will save big on top brands like Bradington Young, made in the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Bradington Young is known for its fine quality leather upholstery. Fjords brings you modern Scandinavian design recliners and sofas, ergonomically engineered for more hip and back support. Norwalk, with American roots that go back over 100 years, specializes in making furniture just for you. Choose the piece, style, fabric, or leather you want, and in just 35 days, we'll deliver your new sofa, chair, or sectional. In-stock or special orders are all sale priced. Need a little help putting it all together? At Ken Michaels Furniture, our design staff is ready to help you with your purchases, and it's free. Stop in today and save now during the Independence Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture on Capitol Drive in Brookfield, Highway 100 in Greenfield, or our downtown Mattress Factory showroom.
Summer is finally here. We're outside and maybe noticing the condition of our old windows. Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors, your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient replacement windows. Boost your curb appeal with top brands like Pella, Anderson, and Marvin, tailored to fit your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, installation by employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, all on display in their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Good morning and welcome to the Sunday Sip. I'm your host, Julia Fellow. So thrilled to share with you my special guest this weekend, Jennifer LaBoy with the Waters of Pewaukee. Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you, Julia. Thank you for having me.
Good morning to you. So we're going to break down the term senior living. You don't like that term.
I do not.
Me either. You like to call it a senior lifestyle.
I sure do. Senior living, the term, it's out there. I understand it. We all know what it means. Mm-hmm. But lately, past probably 10 years, 15 years, has a little bit of a negative connotation to it. Mm-hmm. So I start to use the word senior lifestyle. That's what the Waters is about, a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change. It's just about when you are a certain age, what does your lifestyle look like?
And going
look
into
like
your
now?
new chapter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what you have found is that baby boomers want to keep their excellent life. So there are standards that the Waters of Pewaukee has that's incredible. I call it a resort.
It is. It feels like a resort. The founder wanted it to feel a little bit like a resort. You know, this population, baby boomers, a little bit older than the baby boomers, are used to their things, their home, the things that they like in their home. They shouldn't be giving up those things and moving to a place that has one choice for a meal, right?
You have 3 chefs.
3 chefs on staff. They make things every day. They have specials every day for lunch and dinner. Those always change. So the Waters has the feeling of we want those comforts you have at home, and without having to take care of your house.
The
and
maintenance.
The maintenance. Exactly.
Yes,
Taking
I always
that
think
away.
of that.
Yep.
Absolutely. And everything's provided. So what I love on the first floor is that it looks like a restaurant.
Absolutely.
Wine on the ready.
Yep. Wine. We serve wine. We serve beer. We serve 3 meals a day. Snacks are always available. But we want the folks, the residents that live there to feel like, you know what, I want to be taken care of. I want to come to the dining room and have it feel like I'm being waited on. And that's the feeling we want to give. Restaurant style, seating, and dining.
Oh, absolutely. You hit it on the head. It's fantastic. Chef's kiss, as we say.
There you go.
So what's really cool also is that the residents, the people who live there, they make choices of what happens, like different events or even outside, the putting green.
Absolutely, absolutely. You saw the putting green, and there's a story with the putting green. The Waters had plans to build a pickleball court when it was being built, and the residents said, we don't want a pickleball court. We'd like a putting green. And now we have a putting green.
Because you see pickleball courts all over Florida.
Right. But this is their home. These are their decisions. This is what they want. And that is just one example of
the waters of Pewaukee.
Absolutely. And it's everything from food to activities that what do you want to do? This isn't about us saying, here, you're doing this, you're eating this. This is what we're doing today.
So we go upstairs. And it's apartments, but it's condo style.
Right.
2 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Beautiful.
Granite countertops. The view's amazing.
There's not a bad view there, Julia. You know that. We're built on 22 acres. Wildlife everywhere. You look out the window, you'll see deer. You'll see sandhill cranes. You'll see turkey.
Yeah, my teammate Marilee said she saw turkeys.
Yes. It was like there's turkeys right out the window right now. So it's a beautiful view anywhere you look, which is really important, especially to the folks that live in and around the area or have come from that area. They're used to their yards. They're used to trees. They're used to the greenery, being able to go outside when their families come and visit. And I'll go back to what you said earlier. It feels like a condo. It does.
Yeah.
Granite countertops, full-size appliances. We don't chintz on anything. Everything is, everything you'd have in your home.
Full washer, full dryer.
Absolutely.
Walk-in closets. Also, if you need some extra help, like using the bathroom, or if someone needs help in the shower, the level of independence is curtailed to each person.
Absolutely. 100%. So assisted living isn't a one-size-fits-all. We want folks as independent as possible. So we don't come in saying, we're doing this, this, and this. It's what can you do? And where do you need help? What do you need support with? And we will come to you and do that and help with that support.
I love that. Also, pets are so important to
Yes,
families. And
yes.
we can have pets in the condos.
Oh my gosh, yes. You can have pets anywhere on the property. And are you ready for this? No weight limit on the dogs.
That's incredible.
That we have there. So, and by that I mean, you go to places and it says 25 pounds and under. Pets are our family.
They are.
And we've talked about that. If you have a golden retriever that's 75 pounds, how are you going to leave your dog behind? Pets are important.
Oh, and the Waters of Pewaukee also has a fenced-in.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Fenced-in dog park. So off the leash, the dogs are able to roam around, meet the other dogs, and that's pretty amazing. That's the only one I know of in the senior community, so that's pretty amazing.
And also, if you want, a little bit of your own home, but still have somebody come in and clean it, take care of your lawn, there are cottages.
Yep. Cottages are absolutely stunning. So I have 15 cottages on the property. Which they are side-by-side models, so that equates to 30 cottages, and they are beautiful. Just right around 2,000 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Some have a 1-car garage, and that is truly condo living.
And and important to know if you want to move there is that there is a wait list.
Yes, there is.
And what do some people say? Do they say, just get me on the wait list now?
Absolutely.
What do you have to lose?
Right. I encourage the wait list because really good places, especially a place like the Waters of Pewaukee, we're going to have a wait list. And folks will come and say, Jennifer, you know what? I have a house to sell. I'm not sure I'm quite ready to move. I may be looking at 2 to 3 years. And I'll say, let's get on the wait list. Your name, then is here, and we'll keep touching base over the next year, 2, 3 years, and we'll see
And
what
call
what
me in
is
3 years.
Absolutely.
People have said that.
Absolutely.
Jennifer LeBoy with the Waters of Pewaukee. You can also go to thewaters.com, and then you just click on Pewaukee, and you can see the wonderful location, more amenities. Go and see it for yourself as well. Jennifer, thank you for joining us for the Sunday Sip.
Thank you, Julia.
It's 9:28 and 70 degrees at WTMJ.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel,
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters,
and the Beatles were taking America by storm.
which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richland's Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitchke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richland's Tire and Service Centers.
Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Remember mixtapes?
Mixtape? Can you buy that at the hardware store? It's not that kind of tape.
To make a mixtape, you would dub all your favorite songs onto one cassette.
Oh, I was more of an 8-track guy myself.
You know, the new Marshfield 7000 Sulfat Penny Mustard reminds me of the world's greatest mixtape.
We have taken the latest and greatest components of every Penny Mustard configurable sofa and mixed them all together into one.
The Marshfield 7000 is the ultimate sofa.
It's absolutely stunning.
And the comfort level is off the charts.
I definitely see this sofa going all the way to #1.
It's kind of like a greatest hits album, except you can sit on it.
The Marshfield 7000 Sofa, made in Wisconsin with a solid wood frame and hundreds of fabric and leather options, starting at just $21.26 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Well, we're coming up to 9:31, and we've got Nasir Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. What's this about this proposed bill where judges who are under investigation?
Suspended judges.
Suspended judges
Yep.
aren't going to get paid?
Yeah, a proposed bill in Wisconsin is aimed to stop the pay of suspended judges. The bill is co-authored by State Senator Corey Tomczyk and State Representatives Shay Sortwell and August Tyler. The Journal Sentinel reports the bill comes in response to Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan being suspended after being charged for obstruction of federal agents. The bill is still being circulated through the State Legislative Reference Bureau and will be presented on the Assembly floor in the coming days. Since 1978, the Wisconsin Supreme Court has suspended 15 judges. A 17-year-old is recovering after being shot on Milwaukee's South Side. Police say it happened around 9:30 Saturday night near South 21st and West Burnham. The teen was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect has not yet been found, and the investigation is ongoing. An assault involving a former MPS employee, 26-year-old Stefan Quentrell Jr., is a former safety assistant who is accused of sexually assaulting an 18-year-old student. He is charged with sexual assault of a student by school staff. Milwaukee Public Schools say Quantrell left his job at MPS in November of 2023. He was arrested last Thursday. It is unknown when he will appear in court. Taking a look at the roads with the WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No major issues, no major delays, and full freeway speeds across the system.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Enjoy the new all-you-can-eat Saturday breakfast buffet from 8 a.m. till noon for under $10 at the Mine Chef restaurant in downtown Hartford. Just walk on in. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Chef.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Cloudy skies with a high of 82 and slight winds. A few clouds tonight with a low of 68. Monday, sunny and high of 85 with a low of 70. Tuesday, partly cloudy with a high of 87, low of 73. Wednesday, scattered thunderstorms with a high of 87 and a low of 72. And Thursday, also scattered showers. Right now in Watertown, it's 71. In Delafield, it's 70. And in Milwaukee, it's 71 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:33.
There's going to be a lot going on at the lakefront next weekend. We'll tell you all about it right after this on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about in my clinic kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. orthowisconsin.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
And welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. And wait a minute. What's that? Look, up there in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show, and it's all going to be going on this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is Paul Rogers. Paul, of course, is the founder and president of the Air Show. And Paul, it's great to have you here. Tell us about some of the highlights we're going to see this weekend.
For the 2025 Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show, featuring the United States Navy Blue Angels Flight Demonstration Squadron. So again, they're going to be thrilling the fans at the lakefront with their precision maneuvers. The Navy Blue Angels are well known throughout the world. And of course, that's not all we have. We have their C-130 Fat Albert and a host of other air show performers, including the F-22 Raptor demonstration team by the U.S. Air Force and many others. I can go through a list. We also have the Air Force C-17 demo. We have the Maryland Air National Guard A-10s, Wisconsin Air National Guard F-35s, Air Force T-38s. We have the Wings of Blue parachute team coming, Air Force Wings of Blue, the REMAX parachute team. So we've got just all sorts of acts, at the lakefront. Another great opportunity for mom, dad, and the kids to come down to your Milwaukee County Parks lakefront, McKinley Park, McKinley Beach, for another great Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show.
Is the founder and the president of this, and you started this a number of years ago, Paul, how challenging is it to coordinate these acts and make sure that everyone is taking off and performing at the precise time that they're supposed to be?
Absolutely. I mean, once the air show hits high gear, we have over 500 people involved. We have lots of vendors, exhibitors, contractors. We have our own air boss. We have our own controllers. We have our own site setup, contractors, just all sorts of people, project managers for all the demonstration teams, the military. So it takes just a tremendous amount of effort and people to make this thing work. And of course, all the community agencies, Milwaukee Police, Fire Department, Sheriff, FAA, Coast Guard, making sure that there's nobody in what we call the aerobatic box is where all the air show performers perform. So it just takes a lot of people to pull this thing together. And of course, everything is parked over at the 128th Air Refueling Wing, Milwaukee's hometown Air Force. That's where we park all the aircraft. aircraft. Then they take off from Mitchell Field, and then they fly into the air show box out over the water right in front of all the spectators.
I've always wondered, Paul, what goes on in terms of airspace, because obviously we have a lot of commercial airspace coming out of Mitchell at the same time as the Air and Water Show. What sort of coordination goes on to make sure that things can happen the way they're supposed to?
Takes a lot of coordination with Milwaukee Airport, Milwaukee ATC, FAA, to make sure that all the air traffic is separated safely. Of course, during the Blue Angels and some of the performances, there's not a lot of activity at the airport, so it's all coordinated very, very closely. Takes a lot of effort with our Milwaukee Air Traffic Control. They do a great job. And, of course, Milwaukee Airport does a great job, and the fixed-base operators here that park the aircraft, AvFlight. So it takes just a lot of effort and coordination with everybody to make sure we put on a safe air show. Safety is always number one.
We're talking with Paul Rogers from the Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line. Paul, which of these acts do you look forward to most?
Well, of course, I'm kind of an old warbird guy. We actually have a B-24 warbird coming. It's called the Privateer, and it's privately owned. So it's like a big World War II era warbird that's coming. And we also have a P-51 Mustang that's going to be coming. That's a World War II era fighter. So I'm kind of an older warbird guy, but everybody likes the thunder and sound of the Blue Angels and the F-22 and all the military performers, and it's important to showcase our military. That's what keeps us free as Americans, so that's very important. So I like all the acts. There's also going to be a couple aerobatic guys coming, including Michael Vaknin and some other guys. And, of course, the parachute teams kind of highlight that. They land on Bradford Beach in the jump zone.
Oh, I love that.
So that's kind of exciting. The Air Force Wings of Blue, you see them in the sky, they jump out and they land on the beach with their parachute. So I like all the acts, but I guess I'm more partial to the older, warbird type airplanes are kind of neat.
We're going to be hearing a lot of them coming into town. What day do you expect the Blue Angels to be practicing over the skies of Milwaukee?
Well, the Blue Angels arrive on Thursday. They'll do some practice runs around the lakefront, and then Friday we have a full practice. The entire show is the same, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that starts at roughly 11 or 12 at Friday with the practice. The Blue Angels will fly probably around 2 o'clock on Friday, and then a full show from noon to 4 p.m. with the Blue Angels always flying at 3 p.m. So there's 3 full shows, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And how can we get tickets, Paul?
Well, people can go to mkeairwatershow.com and just click on buy tickets, and you can get a ticket for some of the seating areas and help support the Air and Water Show. That's how we keep it here, is by people buying tickets or making a donation. So all they got to do is go to the Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show website, mkeairwatershow.com, click on buy tickets, and away you go.
Up, and away we go. Paul, it is such an exciting time in Milwaukee over the lakefront when the Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show goes on, and we're looking forward to it. Fingers crossed we're going to have great weather next weekend.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great time. Another great opportunity at the lakefront for mom, dad, and the kids to come down and see a great Waterstone Bank Air and Water Show 2025.
Great to talk with you, Paul. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't know about you, but there's such a feeling of exhilaration, when you walk out on the street and you hear the Blue Angels above and you look up and that's who it is. I always get so excited this time of year when they're in town, and even if I'm not at the Air and Water Show, just walking around and look, there they are. I don't know. There's just something about it. All right, it is 9:42. What are we doing on Conversations this week? Oh, boy, do we have a dynamic guest. We'll tell you all about her right after this.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
Hey, it's your favorite car dealer, Honest Eddie. Is it true that there are no employees at Hasselus Mattress?
It's true. Give the mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy. And through Monday, get additional instant savings of $248 off Sealy Posturepedic and Beauty Rest.
Son, you gotta pressure people. Like, what do I have to do to get you into a new mattress today?
Uh-oh, you're breaking up. Gotta go.
Wait, no, let me talk to my manager.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 6-count selected varieties Pop Secret Popcorn, $4.99. 15-ounce selected varieties Van Camp's Pork and Beans, 5 for $5. 20 to 24-ounce selected varieties Frigo String Cheese, $6.99. 64-ounce selected varieties International Delight Iced Coffee, $3.99.
Let's get some strawberries.
Attention shoppers.
Safe. Okay. Ooh, Pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Marilyn.
The staff is fabulous. They feel as much like friends as the people that live there. We go to lunch at the cafe, book talk at 1, team trivia at 2, bags at 3, and then it's dinner time. That's a typical Tuesday. Three Pillars, in one word, happiness. It's a gorgeous campus.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
It's 9:44. Well, imagine having a gut feeling all your life that you were living with somebody who was not your real father. Pewaukee author Susan Worley told me about the day she revealed her instinct to her dad.
It was the big secret of my family. When I was 16 years old, I remember driving in my dad's car, and I looked over at him and I said, "You're not my real dad, are you?" I could feel the energy. I could see his body language, tone of voice, the emotional energy, and I trusted that. And the look on his face, he was totally heartbroken, just heartbroken. And he said, "When you're older, we'll talk about it."
And Susan also has written 12 books. Her latest has been turned into a docu-reality show that will be aired in September on Hulu, Amazon, and Apple TV. She told me all about it.
They all take an online assessment to find out where are they in the gut intelligence blueprint, what level of consciousness. Then they're given a challenge in an outdoor situation where it's scary things that they have to do. Because the whole key was to come up against your fear. And when you came up against your fear, were you using the skills from the gut intelligence blueprint, or were you stuck in the muck of your fear, self-doubt, and judgment?
Susan K. Worley shares how she turned her dreams and her gut instinct into a docu-reality TV show. And it's all happening this morning at 11 on WTMJ Conversations. I'm Libby Collins. It's 9:45. You're a minute away from sports and Marquardt right here on WTMJ.
You gotta get to Built Right today. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Built Right furniture, leather, and mattresses. Built Right's Made in America celebration and $1 million clearance sell-off continues for a limited time. If you are looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you gotta do what my family does. We go to Built Right. We love our new living room furniture, our son sleeping on a new mattress, and most importantly, we enjoyed that shopping experience. 4 generations, 97 years strong, and celebrating 19 years in the Greenfield location. 3rd and 4th generation family members are right there in the store. They work alongside their amazing team. Be ready for your summer guests with thousands of items in stock now or custom order at a low sale price. USA made, small scale, Ohio Amish made, and real solid wood furniture. 60 models of USA made mattresses. Built Right always saves you money. Free in-store design services too. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. It was a nail-biter for the Brewers yesterday as they entered the 9th down by 2. After Andrew Vaughn tied the game with a 2 RBI double, we got this from Caleb Durbin.
Line drive, base hit! Ball game over! Caleb Durbin does it again! 6-5 the final as the Brewers come off the mat, beat Finnegan and beat the Nats, and the winning streak is up to 6 for the Brewers. Unbelievable.
The Brewers and the Nationals meet one more time this afternoon. Our coverage starts at noon with Brewers warm-up with Dominic Catronio here on WTMJ. And it's going to be 3 Brewers for the All-Star Game Tuesday night in Atlanta when rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski joins teammates Freddie Peralta and Trevor McGill at Truist Park. The Miz takes over the spot from the Cubs' Matthew Boyd after only 5 Major League starts, the fewest ever for an All-Star player. I'm Marquardt for WTMJ Sports.
It is an exciting time for baseball in Milwaukee. 9:47's our time. It's going to be pretty nice today. There'll be a few clouds up there. About 80 degrees for a high. We're up to 71 right now at WTMJ. And coming up, I don't know about you. I hate going to the grocery store these days. I mean, I look at these prices. I go up and down the aisle. It kind of makes me sick to my stomach. It really does, to see how much prices have risen just in the last year. And, there are ways to save money. And we've got some tips for you. As a matter of fact, 99 of them. Well, we're not going to share all 99, but we got a few ahead. It's all right here on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
While you may hail from the nation's capital, when we're up to bat, you'll be saying, holy mackerel.
Pitch is a fly ball deep center field, back to the track. Bye-bye baseball, Christian Yelich. 465 feet for Yelich.
It's the Brewers and the Nationals, an American family feel. Our Brewers game day coverage starts today at 12 with Brewers warm-up. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Summer is finally here. We're outside and maybe noticing the condition of our old windows. Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors, your local experts in stylish, energy-efficient replacement windows. Boost your curb appeal with top brands like Pella, Anderson, and Marvin, tailored to fit your home, your style, and your budget. Plus, installation by employee carpenters. Wood, vinyl, fiberglass, all on display in their newly remodeled New Berlin showroom. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. Visit hometownwindows.com today.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
It's here, the largest vacation sale in the nation. Fox World Travel's exclusive July sale is back. Score unbeatable deals at all-inclusive resorts with Apple Vacations to Mexico and the Caribbean with non-stop flights. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO and mention you heard it on WTMJ. Book now and secure your spot with just a deposit. The sale ends July 25th. Don't miss out.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Prices are rising precipitously, but how can we save a few dollars? Well, joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is David Brindley from AARP, the magazine. What do you recommend, David?
One of the things that we recommend is to simply unplug some of your appliances. Your coffee maker, your computer, your sound system, those use energy constantly because they're in standby mode. But if you unplug them, you can save up to 10% in electricity costs every single day. Another way to save in energy costs is to lower the water heater temperature. So you can lower it from 140 degrees to 120 degrees, still have plenty hot water for everything that you need, and you can save up to $400 a year in energy costs. It's a simple way every day to save money.
Whoa. And I'm thinking, too, 16 years ago, we didn't have the number of streaming services and subscriptions that we have now. I bet you can save money there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Before, everyone was having to pay cable or not get anything. But a lot of these streamers are free. You can use your computer. You can go onto YouTube, even AARP. If you're a member, you can get free movies year-round, so it's a great way to save money and to be entertained.
One of the things that everybody seems to be complaining about is going to the grocery store. It's almost painful to go up and down those aisles these days, but are there ways to cut your grocery costs?
Absolutely. When you're shopping, one way is to look up and to look down, because stores often place pricier items at eye level, while the better deals are located above or below. One of the other tips that we have is to use the self-checkout lane. That way I bypass all those last-minute impulse buys, and when I'm scanning, if I see something that is more expensive than I expected, or maybe I thought it was on sale and it's not on sale, I can just put that aside and save money immediately.
Oh, that is a great tip. We are talking with David Brindley. He is the deputy editor of AARP Bulletin's 99 Great Ways to Save. Now, so many people out there rely on their credit cards, and that interest can really add up. Is there a way to cut back on that?
Sure. You know, it's interesting. Studies have found that people who regularly pay cash for things as opposed to credit actually end up spending less over time. Another way that cash is really helpful is a lot of small businesses have these credit card fees from the big companies. A lot of those are passing on those fees to their customers. But if you pay with cash, you can avoid those fees. This happened to me where I get my haircut. Just last month, they started imposing a 3% charge on credit card users. So I just paid cash and saved 3% automatically.
Now, what about when you're buying items, particularly larger items, and you walk into a retail store? Will those retail stores ever negotiate with you?
Sometimes they'll have a discount on some item that is out of the box or that's maybe dinged. So you might be able to negotiate a better price on that.
What about travel? Obviously, a lot of members of AARP have that leisure time, and they like to get out there on the road or maybe, you know, on those airlines. Is there a way to save money? Because it does seem like those prices are going up as well.
Absolutely. Sometimes a lot. An easy way to save money on travel is to be flexible. So if you're willing to not travel at peak times, to say take an early morning flight or start that trip later in the day, you can likely save a lot of money on just those bookings. And also, if you're flexible and your flight is overbooked, you can volunteer to take a later flight, and you'll get a great travel voucher up to, say, $1,000 per person that you can use on a different trip. But you can also ask for free upgrades. It doesn't hurt to ask for a free upgrade to, say, fly first class.
Now, that does sound like traveling in style. What about your mortgage? Is that something that we're tied into all the time, David, or is there a way to negotiate a better rate for yourself?
I'm not sure about better rates, but here's a really smart move to make your money work harder for you. If you pay your monthly mortgage every 2 weeks, you'll end up making one extra monthly payment each year. Now, that cuts down on interest over time and can actually help you pay off your loan faster. So potentially you could save tens of thousands of dollars.
Well, that is a wonderful hack. Boy, you've got 99 of them. Where can everybody out there learn more about those 99 great ways to save from AARP?
Just go to our website. We have a whole bunch of more budgeting tips. Just go to aarp.org/99 ways to save.
David Brinkley, such a pleasure talking with you today.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been great.
I love the idea when you go to the grocery store of look up, look down, and remember, stay in the outskirts. Don't go into the aisles unless you absolutely know what you're going to get when you're at the grocery store. Oh, I hate grocery shopping these days. All right, listen, tomorrow, Sandy Max is going to be at the Gary Sinise Lieutenant Dan concert. So that means I'm going to be filling in for her on What's on Tap. And we've got some really interesting people we're going to be talking with, including Matt Miller, our own Matt Miller, who we talked to for years on this show. He's going to be joining us in the studio. And he has an interesting hobby, and that is visiting all of the ballparks around the country. And we'll be talking to him about that. We're also going to be joined by some people from Villa Terrace, and they've got an exhibit called The Beat Goes On. We'll hear about that as well. We're also going to be hearing about Bark TV. Roof, roof. Can't wait. And there'll be a big Earth, Wind, and Fire ticket giveaway. That's all tomorrow on What's on Tap right here on WTMJ from 6 until 9. I'll be filling in for Sandy Max. Really looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great day. Stick around because after the news, it's the Reporter's Notebook. And then I'm going to be back at 11 o'clock with our conversation with Susan K. Worley. What a dynamic lady she is. She's got some really great tips for you as far as knowing how to follow your gut instinct. And she'll also reveal her own story about knowing that her father wasn't her real father. Oh, wait until you hear that one. Plus, we've got Brewers warm-up at noon, and then that first pitch is at 1:10. Thanks for joining us today on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of